Hey guys, Rob here with McDojo Life. We're back again with another McDojo Breakdown. I am here at New Frontier Armory here in Las Vegas, and we just got done with an event called Gift of Gun, which was amazing. Had a great time. Just built my first firearm. You just built your first one too, right?
Well, I have firearms, but it's first time building a firearm, and it was really exciting, very informative, really fun.
And there's a ton of sponsors for this event. I'll make sure that you guys get all that information about those sponsors below in the description. But I got to do my job. So while we're here, I figured what we'll do is we'll do a breakdown of another video. So you helped me out with one previously, and I truly appreciate that. But now I want to try a different one. So the one that we did before, I'm trying to remember which one it was. Oh, yeah. It was the skadoosh. Skadoosh. The skadoosh did not work, but you gave great advice, fantastic advice. I appreciate that. So I figured now let's try another one and just see how it goes. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and pull it up, see what it looks like.
All right. Here we go.
All right. So your husband's here. Dope. I got to hang out with him a little bit today. And yesterday we got to shoot at the range a little bit. So do you think you guys might like recreate this one day?
I mean, I'm sure this has happened at one point in our lifetime, except for, I mean, it's quite interesting to see what happened after this picture was taken.
Do you think he just like full-blown sidekicked her in the head and she just wasn't prepared?
I'm hoping they just cropped her in because she looks pretty scared.
Oh, dude, she is terrified. She is terrified. All right, so I'm hoping one day y'all do that.
I'll have to send you our wedding invitation because it looks like a fight poster.
I would love to see that. Please do. I'll put them up side by side. People can see it. All right, let's get to the technique. Let's see what it looks like.
Okay. All right, here it goes. All right, number one.
So attacker is doing the old school non-consensual. She reaches across with her right arm, I do believe, to grab his left elbow and pulls that across, and then with her opposite hand reaches up, grabs his chin, and turns him.
Right.
Now, before this video started, I had shown this to you, and you actually felt maybe there's some viability to it. So let's watch it one more time.
Okay. Yeah, it happens very quickly. So she's reaching to the outside of the elbow to break down his arm, and then goes to cup his chin.
Yeah.
And I think there's some like great points here that could be used, but I feel like you kind of have to be a seasoned fighter to understand like the leverage of a person, and also to understand like timing and circumstance to all of this stuff. But I think there's some good things here.
Okay.
Honestly.
Well, what we can do is we can test it out to see the viability, and if it works, shit, it works. And if it doesn't, you can give us a better way or a better situation. Because I know you talked earlier about possibly a better situation that this might work in, even if it's not that one. All right, so let's see. Let's see how it goes.
Okay. Let me see. So she's going across body.
Yeah, I think it's across and across.
Okay, so he's going to
this
the choke.
Way? Sorry, my hands are cold as shit. It's cold as hell in here, all right?
Okay.
All right, so
what she's doing is she's reaching to the outside of his arm, and she's trying to break him down here. And then she reaches across here, right? Is that what she did? And to try to spin him off. See, even just here, it's just really hard to get that leverage, you know? Because I'm stretched out. And kind of how I explain when I'm teaching like any of my students is you're always stronger closer to your body because you have your whole body to work with versus being stretched out. So it's like when you hold a baby, you cradle the baby in close because you can do that forever.
Funny side note, I worked at UPS for like 2 years, and they called this your power zone.
Yeah.
This is a zone where arms and back can lift the most with the least amount of pressure.
And you actually had to do a class where you sat down and filled out paperwork that taught about this is where you're strongest.
Power zone.
The power zone.
Power zone.
So thank you, UPS, for the money and insurance, and Union. You rock, Union. All right, so.
Yeah, so in close is better than far out. You can't hold the baby for too long, or UPS boxes.
Yeah, I felt like, to be honest, when the first part of the chin, I think that if you were able to break my posture, you might be able to use that. I felt like it would probably be difficult for you to actually snatch my elbow down if I have extended arms.
It's extended.
Maybe a little tighter, but.
Well, okay, so if you're here, go ahead, grab. Yeah, I do think, but you see how, but I don't think you could do it with just one.
Yeah.
I think it'd have to go 2 on 1 and break it down, you know? And then what we do a lot in MMA, because we don't necessarily go to choke, but we do a lot of like collar ties where it's breaking the posture here. And so one of the things that we work, so if I've broken the posture enough for me to come here, I'm gonna collar tie so that I have an anchor. And then we call it turn and burn. Okay, so I'm gonna turn. So I'm gonna use my whole body to break this grip. So I turn and then burn, you know?
Yeah.
Turn, so it's break and go.
Funny enough, I did the same type of thing with GSP, and he had a very similar response.
As I'm using the blade on my forearm, I'm gonna step it with an elbow here. Boom. And then I can right away counter right away with another elbow on top. Boom, boom, boom.
But his was off like almost like hacking the arm a little bit more. Yours is very much almost like a wrestler way of doing it. Like,
and you gotta really look away, keep this anchored in, but like, see, I'm using my shoulder to break that, and I'm really looking away, and then I'm still holding on to this to come back in or to evade the situation or whatever it is that you need to do.
Yeah, that 2-on-1's legit. Like, you're pretty fucking strong. You're a lot stronger than you look, lady. Like, no shit. Like, when you grabbed both of them, both on that one side, and you actually snatched that in, like, I wasn't just giving it to you. You like actually took it. So that was cool. So there is some viability there, but maybe not.
Yeah, this one was a little. This one is a little hard. Sometimes you can like lace through, and it's the same thing. It's like your body will go wherever your head goes. So if I turn you here, your eyes aren't on this, so you're gonna have less pressure, you know. But I think that's kind of like a situational thing where you're not completely gripped in yet, and it's like one of those just instinctive things that I do right away, so you can't get your grip.
I got you. It's kind of like if, you know, somebody's reaching up for your collar or whatever. You're just like, no, don't do that.
Right.
Or patting a jab. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Well, I really appreciate that. So just to make sure that we recap, right? Not necessarily 100% bullshit, right? There's some viability in there, but just not the way that it's shown. And a couple takeaways. One was the collar tie, right? So we were here.
I like the 2-on-1.
The 2-on-1. I got you.
Because it's two hands against one hand versus you're fighting 1-to-1. You never want to be 1-to-1 in a fight. You always want to stack your weapons. So 2-to-1 into break. Okay. And once I've closed the distance here to grip, you know. But man, even if you've broken the grip, I would get away.
I got you.
I mean,
just so that way you can advance. And I feel like you could probably take my back pretty easy as well, especially if I wasn't trained and all of a sudden you just snatch and you just shoot in. You're in a very advantageous position. So that's solid advice, man. So 2-on-1 rather than the weird awkward hand placement. And then after that, throw an elbow.
Once you're here, if they're still gripping, then you can do this one to break this grip. Yeah, and then elbow, knee, whatever, side kick.
Yes, it's just a random side kick to the head.
Back kick.
I'm not so sure they'd see any of that coming. I wouldn't see a side kick coming for sure. So, so there's something to be taken from it. So I appreciate you being honest about it, right? Because the whole point is just to be honest and make sure that we're giving out good information to people, because maybe it's not all bullshit. Maybe it's just misguided.
Right, and it's like it's all scenario based, you know. And then also, like, if I'm doing it to a 10-year-old student who has no grip, no strength, no awareness, then yes, I can do it. But if I'm doing it against, you know, a third-degree black belt who's twice my size, then no chance in hell.
I got you. Well, I appreciate it. Still better than the skadoosh, though.
Skadoosh.
Keep the martial arts legit.
My baby got robbed the other day by degenerate. So she wanted to learn some new form of this self-defense. So she did her research and perused it online and found this dude said he could move shit with his mind. He called himself Seafood Paul Zimmerman. He got a dojo with a strip mall near Cinnabon. Now she spends all day trying to break boards with her thoughts, but the only thing she's breaking is my little heart. Things just haven't been the same. Living strange since my baby joined that dojo. Joined the McDojo. Now she tries